Hey guys, Matt Robinson here, founder of the Professional Investors Guild, here with another of our Ask the Pig video series. And I get a lot of questions about how to find the deals. And so one thing I want to address today is where the deals are and where the deals are not, mainly with where the deals are not. But just before I get into answering that question, I want to remind those of you who are maybe not subscribers of ours yet, we've got some free gifts for you, a video and an ebook for you to learn a little bit more about foreclosure investing that is available at pigfreegift.com. Our acronym is PIG, stands for Professional Investors Guild. So if you're new to us, just came across this video, you can get those free resources at pigfreegift.com. Now what I want to talk about here is why the deals are not on the MLS. And I get a lot of pushback sometimes from folks, and I want to make clear that, I understand there's an anomaly with everything. So every time I say there's no deals on the MLS, everybody likes to email me and say, well, I bought a deal once on the MLS. Okay, well, I bought a deal once on the MLS too. One deal in 12 years I've bought on the MLS. So now I can qualify that by saying if all you're looking for is a good rental with like a 10% or 11% cap rate, and you're just going to sit on it and rent it out and let somebody pay off your mortgage for 30 years and then be, that's a great strategy, and you can actually get very wealthy that way and become very rich. What I'm talking about by deals, those properties, those buy and hold 11% cap rates are everywhere on the MLS. But what I'm referring to is most of our members and a lot of our people are flippers. They're looking to make some quick cash. They're looking to get higher rates of return like I am by being an active investor until I get to the age where maybe I want to retire and I'll go more passive, and then I'll be happy with an 11% or so cap rate. But at this point, we're looking for those real deals, those ones that fit the formula, the typical investor formula of after repair value times 70% less repairs is where we're going to buy a rehab. If we want to assign it, then we're going to get a little cheaper than that, so we can put in an assignment fee. So those are the ones that we're looking for. So I know there's always an anomaly, and certainly if you're looking at buy and hold investments, there's some stuff on the MLS, but we're talking about something different. Now the reason why these deals are not on the MLS is because we have a couple hundred members here at the Professional Investors Guild. It's growing all the time, and every time somebody says, hey, I want to get into investing, I want to be a real estate investor, everybody goes to the MLS because why? It's the path of least resistance. We think, hey, if I want to find real estate, where do I go? I go to the MLS because that's the only place that they know to find deals. So it would just stand to reason that if everybody who's looking to learn real estate, or everybody who bought a Carlton Sheets or a Dean Grazioso course, on the internet late at night, everybody goes to the MLS to find deals. Well, if you have all these eyeballs looking at the MLS, then obviously you've got way too much competition for a limited amount of deals. It's just going to drive the price up. I had this happen with a refrigerator I put on Craigslist not too long ago. I just priced it cheap because I really just wanted it out of my garage. So I just put it at 50 bucks, and I had tons of calls. And so before I sold it, I ended up selling it for $75, 50% more than I listed it for, because I just had so many people calling. I could just say, well, I've decided to raise the price, and I still had somebody buy it. And so when you have a ton of people looking at a limited commodity like you would have on the MLS, a limited amount of supply but a ton of demand, that's obviously going to drive the prices up. And as prices start getting driven up, that obviously prices you and me out of the market if we're looking for these steal of a deals. The second reason why you're not going to find real good deals consistently on the MLS is because of realtor pricing strategies. We are trained as realtors. I'm a licensed real estate agent. I basically just list and sell my own real estate now, but we're trained as real estate agents not to get the least amount of money we can get, not to give a buyer a deal. We're trained to get top dollar in the shortest amount of time for whoever we're representing. So it is our job, it is our fiduciary duty as a realtor when we're acting in that capacity to try to get as much money as possible, to get top dollar for our client. And so obviously the way they're being priced is not to be a deal, but is in order to try to get as much money as possible. And that spills over into the whole, REO loss mitigation strategy. If any of you guys have placed offers on REOs, you'll know that the majority of the time the counter offer from them is right around list price, because again, REOs will, REO, for those of you who are not familiar with it, real estate owned, it's basically bank owned foreclosures. When they take back a property, once they've gone through the foreclosure process, they want to try to maximize their money as much as possible because they've just spent a fortune trying to foreclose on it. And so when they do that, they're going to have a BPO or an appraisal to determine what they feel like the right now as is condition value is, and then they're going to list it at that price and make very small price reductions to try to get a buyer who will pay as high as possible, right? So if you come in and offer 50-60% of what they're listed at, they're just going to counter back right at list price. Unless you're able to make some really compelling case about the condition that perhaps was, ignored or missed by the appraiser, you're going to have a really hard time finding deals that way. And then, of course, the last point here, just quickly get through this video, not make it too long here, is that sellers in general are typically not motivated. I mean, motivated sellers do things like calling iBuyHouses ads and trying to find a buyer, or selling to a friend, or they do more radical things. If they've decided to go forward with listing on the MLS, then they probably have a longer time horizon. They want to take their time. They want to try to maximize and get as much money as they possibly can. They've hired a realtor. They're paying a commission. The reason is to try to get as much money for the property as possible. So it's just the overall mindset of the person who's listing on the MLS is typically not extremely motivated. So all of those things played together, it just lends to an environment where you're not going to find a lot of deals. The deals are going to be found off the radar. We talk about that all the time, off the radar deals, whether you find them through print ads or direct mail or bandit signs or whatever. You want to find the deals where it's just you and the seller, maybe you and another investor in the seller, where the competition is very limited, and you have a motivated seller who now has one property and only a couple people looking at it. Now the playing field is a little bit more even, and you're going to be a little more likely to be able to get a deal. And they're out there. There's plenty of those out there. I'm not trying to give you a scarcity theory, because there are a lot of those deals out there. You just got to go drum them up, and you got to go find them. We like to take things the easy route. So you sign up for a course, you think you're going to just go jump on the MLS and make $1 zillion. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. If it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. If success was easy, everybody would be doing it. It takes going the extra mile, taking the extra step, doing some marketing, doing things that other people aren't willing to do, not going the path of least resistance. That's where you're going to find the best deals and the most success. So hopefully that helps you guys out. We'll see you next time on Ask the Pig.